Dan, the Eagles this year, 11.5 wins, more or less.
I'm going to say more. I expect this Philadelphia Eagles team to be 5-0 at the start of this season. The schedule is not too hard. This is an offense that returns basically everybody. A defense that's going to be very young, and they're going to be dependent on those guys, but they still have Jalen Hurts. They still have A.J. Brown. They still have some of the most dynamic weapons in all of the NFL. I'm going to say more.
Let's stay in the division. Kmart, the Giants' number is 7.5 wins, more or less.
Greeny, I actually think more. I covered the Giants a lot last year. This roster's improved. I think Daniel Jones hopefully will take a step in the right direction. I think this season will start off slow.
At $40 million more, he should.
Yeah, they certainly won more a year ago. All right, we saved the best for last. Swagoo, the Cowboys, 10.5.
Of course, the best.
More or less.
I got less because I don't know what
figure Swagoo
is. We've had this conversation before. I got them winning 10 games this year and getting into the playoffs and being a dangerous team. Dallas could absolutely go above 10.5, but right now, with Zach Martin's situation, trying to figure out when Tony Pollard is going to be back and fully healthy, some of those weapons, Brandon Cooks coming along, and this offense getting going, we know the defense is going to be really good. So 10.5, under at 10, but could be more.
Okay,
way to cover all the bases.
That's interesting. We'll see. Troy Aikman, meanwhile, another legendary former Cowboy. He was asked about Dak Prescott and the offense recently. He has high hopes. Listen to this.
He was fortunate to come in even as a rookie and have a good supporting cast and allowed him to play at a high level. And I think, though, that the team that he has this year could be his best.
The team he has this year could be his best. Is this the best team that Dak Prescott has had around him?
It's the most complete team. I would say that 2016 offense that he played with, strictly that offensive line is top 5 in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
This is the most complete team he has. We know this defense is going to be top 3 in the conversation defensively. So the conversation last year with Dak was about what? Interceptions.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Usually.
And we have
Here
to
we go.
kind of contextualize what the interceptions
Here
were
we go.
for Dak Prescott last year. He threw too many. Okay, he threw 15 in the regular season. Number one, not great separation by his wide receivers. Number two, forcing the football way too often. This is 3rd and 15. You're in field goal range. The likelihood for you to get points there or convert there, not high, but that leads to an interception.
I think we won that game against the Giants, though.
Late in the second quarter, forces the football down the middle of the field. Maybe there's miscommunication between him and a wide receiver. This is the first game of the year, 3rd and 10 again. So the percentage of you offensively converting 3rd and 10 plus, 3rd and long plus, is unlikely. I mentioned the lack of wide receiver separation. That's part of this conversation.
You think?
Of Brandon Cooks. Look at the bottom one. 3rd and 7 plus.
Actually,
5 of those interceptions in that situation. Just so many forced football.
Hold it right there. I want you to look at this shit. See, the reason why I show this, I know everybody's like, man, turn that shit off. But I want you to understand something here. 2 things that just transpired from here. 1, wide receiver separation. As in Noah Brown and Michael Gallup couldn't get open. You see that tight window percentage? 19.8. 1 in every 5 passes he had were considered tight window. The highest in the NFL. The highest. What does that mean? Do you guys understand what that means? What that means is the receiver's got somebody draped over him. That means you got to get the ball somewhere like this. As opposed to a guy being wide open where he can adjust and not worry about somebody else being there. These things matter. These things matter. But go ahead.
So I think the context, yes, he threw too many. The receivers need to get open. He didn't see coverage that well. Some of the interceptions went off wide receivers' hands. I'm getting concerned, though, with what I hear coming out of Dallas more and more and more. The head coach says, I want to run the football more. Okay? Now the owner's talking about, I just need Dak not to turn the football over. And we have Dak Prescott saying, I guarantee I won't throw 15. I get concerned because it sounds like his stingers
because it's something for me to talk about.
If I was a Cowboys fan, I would be worried with, is my quarterback going to play cautious? Is my quarterback going to play scared? Because the whole offseason, all we've heard is don't give the ball away. You can't be great in this league if you do, and you certainly can't win a Super Bowl if you are.
Marcus, what do you think of that? Because Kmart made a similar point last week. Swagger, what do you think of that?
It just depends on how they plan on rolling out the way that they're going to play football. And look, that is a cause for concern because the last few teams we've seen win Super Bowls threw the ball all over the yard. But therein lies the issue. We want Dak Prescott, and this is the continuous conversation. We want him to be something he's not.
Be good enough. Now this year, it seems like Mike McCarthy.
What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody is having a great Monday. I know I am having a wonderful one here because the team, we talking about practice, not the game that I love. We talking about practice. But before we get into practice, let me say hello, Miss Hot Sauce. Lola. Yes, I got to get a stream deck to have down here. I'll get that squared away. We got Joanne Gonzalez. What's up, JoJo? We got Angelica Baron, who's having withdrawals. Angelica, I just uploaded an update on the Red Brick House. I had to take care of my in-laws. I had to take care of the front porch. I rebuilt the steps and stuff today, but I did do a little bit of work, did some plastering and all that, but I did a video. I said, I got to do this for for Angelica Baron, because I know she's like, can I see the Red Brick House? It keeps calling me, man. I just want a little taste. I did it for you, Angelica. Loyal Cowboy, any word on Sam Williams' injury? No, right now it's just listed as a shoulder injury. Okay, it's not. We're not hearing a shoulder separation or anything, but a shoulder injury, maybe a little sore, maybe a slight sprain or anything, something like that. But we have not heard anything more just yet with that. This is the first day of pads. And you're going to get the soft tissue injuries and things, getting hit around and stuff. But I tell you what I am really concerned about. I don't know if you guys remember last year, Micah Parsons having an incredible move that literally faked Tyron Smith out his jockstrap. It was the very next practice that Tyron Smith's hamstring just ripped off the bone. Now, I don't know if that move that Micah Parsons made loosened that hamstring up. But Micah Parsons did another move today that kind of saw Tyron Smith go flying. Now, Tyron Smith on the other side, going against Mozzie Smith, actually blocked him really, really well. So Mozzie's got a lot to learn, and going against Tyron Smith will be a good thing. So he's okay. He's definitely okay right now. We'll see, and keep our fingers crossed on Tyron Smith, because we know Tyron Smith is oh, I'm sorry. Hold up. I'm sorry, Game Time. See, Game Time, you done messed around, bro, and you've I forgot to start it because I ain't heard from you in so long. See, I got a couple of bones to pick with my man Game Time. He keeps calling me, man, and calling me out and busting on me. Okay. All right, try it again, Game Time, because I don't see you there. Okay. All right, so it's up and running. If you guys saw CeeDee Lamb's interview, and let me get my man Brian in here. Let's get Game Time in here. Game Time, are you hiding from me, man? Your mic's muted. Your mic is muted. Look, your mic is muted. There you go.
I know.
Okay.
I literally just popped on the screen. I know.
Man, what's going on, man?
And this guy already. What did I do now?
Man, I'm over here, working on my in-laws' house, working over here on the Red Brick House. I'm sitting here watching. I'm sitting here watching, you guys, Cole's Cowboys. And man, what's going on with Cole's Cowboys, man? I was watching him slumming with an Eagle fan last night.
He's Smitty, right?
Yeah.
I was
Smelly Smitty
in on their live stream right before. I was waiting for you to let me in for 10 minutes, but I was watching. He wasn't on, but Smitty was on. You should have saw Twizzlers over there with his people.
Oh, Lord. You mean they actually watch Eagle content?
What they're talking about at Eagles camp, but yeah.
Okay.
He does that. He messes with the Eagles.
But I was like, so who plays the grand piano there with Coles?
That's him. He plays it.
Well, it was an interesting contrast because you looked at Cole's house. You've got the archway and stuff there. You got the grand piano with the corner windows letting lights in, and then you looked at Smitty, kind of slumming there. It's like, yeah,
well, he's in the corner, man. Everybody's got to start out somewhere, but man, he just goes on for hours, man. These young kids, do these 2.5 hour live streams just talking about whatever. I was like, man.
All right, so
how is everybody doing today?
I'm doing great. I see Lady Libra, Angelica Barron, Miss Gibson, of course. Lola's in the house. Let's see, who else? Did I miss anybody?
Well, you
Regina
got
Green,
Gibson. You got JoJo, Angelica.
I got all the lovely. See, and that's why all the Eagle fans hang here because they know we've got all the beautiful women in here and stuff, and they don't show up on the Eagles cast.
Arlene Mosher was in the house.
All right, so we're going to get to the Hall of Fame trip because I was sitting here worried. I was like, damn, did I forget my deodorant or something? Am I smelling bad? And that's why Brian's not hanging around or what?
What do you mean hanging around?
I didn't see you yesterday on the live stream.
Well, yesterday I did text you. I was stuck at the, you know how it works. When you're stuck, I upgraded my phone and what turned out to be a 4-hour ordeal.
Okay.
So, I waited in line. It was not just me. It was a couple other people I was getting phones for. You know how that works. So I got stuck. I got home and I logged in. I think it was 5:15, but you were already gone. You didn't go to, or 6:15.
I was gonna say 5:15. We were knee deep in it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's all good. You know, I like to bust your balls. I like to bust your balls.
Yeah, and I didn't go live today. I did a video.
Oh, okay. It said streamed live. I was like, he went live today and didn't tell me he was going live. I'm like, shit.
I did a video.
Okay.
In the house here.
All right. So
get out.
So have you kept up with what's happened today?
I did. I'm on top of it.
So Sam Williams hurt shoulder. Nothing?
Yeah, well, I was reading the chat. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Sam Williams hurt shoulder.
The Dak.
We've got, of course, Schoonmaker, of course, with the plantar fasciitis that we're still waiting on. Hopefully it doesn't stunt his progression here.
It is going to stunt it. I don't know what you want me to. I mean, I have thoughts on it. Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, what's your thoughts on it?
All right, well, Schoonmaker, the Space Cowboy, he's concerned that we took a guy that's going to be a situational guy, a blocker, but that's precisely what he is. And I pointed out that other than Sam Williams, what do we normally do in the second round, Mark? We don't go with the next best guy.
We suck in the second round.
But,
okay.
I think they went out of their way. And I keep going back to it, but you remember Dalton Schultz last year on the goal line? What happened?
Oh, no, I'm looking at Cloud's Coffee. Mark, did you see Dak Prescott's interceptions?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, my God.
It's the same guy who's complaining. Hey, Cloud, did you see my response to your earlier text? He's complaining that Mozzie got handled by a tyrant. Mozzie Smith is going to play the inside.
Yeah.
His sole job is to stop the run. They're lining him up outside. He's never going to play outside.
Never.
It's training camp, and that's what you do.
For all you know, that was scout team.
Surprise. You know who's going to beat a guy like Tyron or anybody is these fast guys. So, Mark, there's no need to panic.
I'm not panicking.
Tyron Smith. No, but I heard you earlier say, Michael Parsons makes everybody look like that one-on-one.
True.
Okay.
True. No. My panic is this. See, people don't remember last year, but Micah Parsons made a move on Tyron Smith.
Oh yeah, tomorrow he's gonna blow out a hamstring.
And then the next day he blew out his hamstring. So I'm like, oh shit, here we go again. Let's hope that that's not going to be the case. But for Mozzie Smith to be lined up outside, he was probably running scout team. And if you don't know what scout team is, okay. See, that's when I started at JMU, that's where I started. I was on scout team. And scout team is basically you're a blocking dummy. That's what you really are, but live. We would end up being, when I walked on a JMU, you're out there going against the first team. They go off, get some water. Second team comes in. They go against you. And then the first team comes back out. And you're out there on the field the whole time. So when you see Mozzie Smith as an outside rusher, he ain't going to be rushing on the outside. That's just not going to be the case. So they were probably running scout team.
Video today, or you've been running around?
I've been running around. In fact, I just finished plastering.
Because I break down pretty much everything you're talking about. So if you're doing some spackling, you throw it on the TV later.
Well, I had the TV on earlier, and I just found out. I was like, oh, you had a video out. Okay, so
I'm just check
I'll watch it tonight.
I actually went through. I'm not going to bore every little detail with what you're saying about scout team, but I did break down a couple. I did.
Well, here's the thing that when we grew up, we didn't have all this coverage of practice, of every little tweak, little tweak here and there, every play that's out there and everything else. This stuff is practice, not the game. And it's the first padded practice. Everybody who's going ape shit because, oh my God, he threw an interception in practice. Relax. You're trying things with different players and all that. And if you listen to CeeDee Lamb, did you see CeeDee Lamb on 105? And he was kind of talking about...
That's the one interview I didn't watch. I didn't get to that.
It was interesting because he had went through the difference of Mike McCarthy and with Kellen Moore without trying to throw Kellen Moore under the bus. He talked about how the things were simpler. There was less confusion on what we were trying to do. And that also now... most of this is now in Dak's hands for the plays when you're actually out on the field and making the calls and changing it up. And I think that makes 100% sense because I think you and I have talked about this before. Things that Dak Prescott does well, 2-minute offense and hurry-up offense. You see him and the team always rolling and going really well. And my take on that is because he's calling the shots as opposed to Kellen Moore calling the plays.
And he plays better with tempo.
Yes.
That's just, we've talked about it. I just really loved, and he threw another pick today, but, people that aren't a fan of the team or a fan of Dax are going to point it out. And, it was nothing to be concerned about.
I'm going to ask, as they keep talking about the interceptions, do they talk about those passes to Brandon Cooks? That are touchdowns?
Yeah. Like I said, do not worry about the interception, especially the one at the end that he threw today. There's nothing to be worried about. It looked really good. I'm loving what I'm seeing. 1, 2, 3, get the ball out. 1, 2, 3, get the ball out. 1, 2, 3, get the ball out. I mentioned a couple guys on my video, like one receiver on my video today. I don't want to say his name too loud. I've been saying it. And don't you know the first full padded practice? Jalen Brooks out of South Carolina, the rookie, the hidden gem, is looking awesome already. And I'm like, I want to get him to the practice squad. But, our cuts are going to be rough. But, Dak's looking fine. I got a lot of, we'll have a lot to talk about on the way down to you can't. I don't want to take up your whole live stream. But, we are good. We're deep, man. We're going to be... Surprisingly, I actually went over how many I think they're going to take at each position, and it was different than what I thought. And I break it down to where it makes sense. So, obviously, barring injury, right, Mark? Injuries are going to work its way out.
Yeah.
There's going to be guys that we think that are for whatever reason, going to start on PUP or injured, short-term IR type of deal.
Lady Libra. It's practice, damn it.
I know. And I just real quick, I don't see Twiz in here. He's still probably over in the other Eagle live stream that I was in.
And Smelly.
I was like the only Cowboy fan, putting in my comments. Man, Jalen Hurts threw not 1 but 2 interceptions in practice. So.
But they won't talk about that though on TV.
You know what you're talking about?
What?
And listen, you can't get too high or too low. That's what I used to. I've learned with the Cowboys. Just use your eyes, people. Don't listen to what people are telling you. Watch it. Don't get too high and don't get too low. We don't know the situation. We could just see the raw talent, like a guy like Michael Parsons exploding past everybody. He literally had 4 or 5 sacks today. I mean, you saw Dak like scramble around the pocket and get the ball out. It was a sack. You know, but I mean,
you know what's funny is I remember Colin Cowherd one time when he was talking about Carson Wentz, and he said, I don't mind, some interceptions. Interceptions, they're no big deal. You want a guy who takes some chances and things. Wait a minute. And so then it comes to Dak.
The Cowboys.
Not with the Cowboys. Nope.
Well, we know that. Mark.
And before it was, he doesn't take risks. He's a dink and dunker. And then, of course, he takes risks. And of course, they scored 30 points a game.
Ray says, why don't we ever talk about Dak being drafted in the 4th round and everyone else drafted before him in the 1st round aren't even as good? Most of them are out of the league, Ray.
Yeah, I was going to say, Carson Wentz is lighting it up right now, isn't he?
Hey, remember Jerry Jones, he wanted Johnny Man's. I don't know if that was the same year, but
that was I think the year before.
Cook, and he wanted who was the guy?
Paxton Lynch
first, and then
Paxton Lynch, and then when they couldn't get him, it was like Connor Cook.
They were telling him, Jerry, Dak Prescott's on the board. If he's there when we pick in the 4th round, we got to take him. And he's like, I don't know.
AJ says he didn't throw 2 picks. Okay.
How many did he throw, AJ? They were talking about it. I don't know. This is an Eagle channel. Maybe 1, almost 2.
You mean other quarterbacks actually throw interceptions?
It's practice. I could care less how many picks he throws, but it seems like our guy's getting, the microscope, and everybody's looking at every little thing he does. They're looking at his bowel movements to see if everything.
Well, actually, they're not looking at everything he does, because I tell you what, he's been able to drop some serious bombs, real bombs, and I tell you what, he looks like he is moving a lot better than he did last year. And sometimes
he ran out of the pocket earlier today, and and he didn't. He wait, boom, 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 nothing was there. Gone. And it was funny because Marquise Bell was looking at him laughing, like saying, really, this is what you're going to do? But that's what you got. You have to train yourself to go. If there's nothing there, why are you going to sit back there and pat the ball? It's not realistic.
Alan Williams, the same reason y'all love talking about Dak Prescott's picks. Oh, my God. Don't say anything about Saint Jalen Hurts. You better not say nothing about Jalen Hurts or the Eagles.
They are salivating on Jalen Carter.
Oh, my God.
And they're going nuts about, what's his name that I was saying that we should have talked, the DM that they got at 30. They're saying it's a godsend. It was a gift from God.
Okay.
God wants them to win. Noah spent...
You know what's funny about the hype? Yeah. It's always funny, though, about the hype that they always have about guys, and then they don't really pan out as good as they think. The one thing you can say about the Cowboys is when you look at first-round draft picks, we have been pretty damn good. From 2010, we have only 2 players that were not Pro Bowl players for us, first-round draft picks. Get that fly, man. You got him, or was it a spider?
I gotta shut my door. Hold on, go ahead.
He's got bugs flying around. But we've had only 2 players. I want to say Morris Claiborne and Taco Charlton. But every other first-round drafted player we've had has been a Pro Bowler, and has done really, really well. You can't say that for the Eagles. Lane Johnson, I believe, was the last great first-round pick they had, although I think, did Carson Wentz... Was he a pro? Yeah, he was a Pro Bowler 1 year, but he's no longer even in the league.
He's a great player, and we're hearing he's going to stuff
Micah Parsons.
No, Lane Johnson put Micah Parsons as
Alan Williams. Thanks for the super chat.
As his number 2 guy that he hates going against. That's coming from Lane Johnson. So.
And he is stronger.
I don't know why we're trying to talk about Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons.
You know what?
Defensive player in the league.
I tell you what. Seeing him today against Tyron Smith, shaking him out his boots and all that. Micah Parsons has been talking a lot of shit. Actually, not really shit. He's just been talking a lot. And, I'm not one that enjoys a whole lot of it. I just let your play on the field go. But that's one guy that you can look and say, okay, he's taken offensive tackles and thrown them that are 100 pounds heavier than him, basically. He is a guy who's got some of the best numbers over the last couple of years. He is entitled to talk some stuff. Jalen Carter, you ain't even had your first padded practice and you're talking about him ready to kill the Cowboys. It's like, really, dude? Really? You might want to wait before you start trying to write those checks. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. But, it's just like typical, man. It's just, when was the last time we saw a rookie come in and dominate? He's in for a rude awakening.
Micah Parsons.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't happen. He's a generational player. Okay?
Yes. He definitely is. But I'm loving what I'm seeing with Brandon Cooks. And if you guys cannot recognize the difference between Brandon Cooks and Noah Brown, then you don't need to be watching football and making comments on it.
Brandon Cooks is going to make all the difference. We are so much deeper in the wide receiver room this year. It's not even close when you really look at it. When you look back at what we got from Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup is perfect in his number 3 role. He might be the best number 3 receiver in the league. Just with experience, his way he can go up and just get the ball on a 3rd down and a 50-50 ball. That's what you want. It's going to be fun, man. Deuce Vaughn, they can't find this kid.
Oh, my God.
He looks different. And I'm not, listen, Eagle fans, I'm not sitting there saying he's going to win the rushing title.
He's going to be an all-pro. He's going to get 2,000 yards. He is.
All right, Linda Conyers. If Jalen Carter wasn't saying what he was saying and Micah wasn't I can't keep up saying what he was saying. He was saying that this wouldn't be a competition that would have. Yeah. I mean, I understand what you're saying. We're just pointing out that he's already coming out against the Cowboys. At least Micah has already been named, rookie, defensive player of the year.
They're already saying that,
MVP. I mean, play it down in the NFL.
Are you not seeing the articles where they're already saying that he's an early candidate for defensive player? And I'm like, we haven't even had the first padded practice, and you've got him as rookie of the year?
I don't wish any ill will on the man. I'm not saying he's going to – I hope he's better than Jordan Davis was last year as a rookie, because now they're saying Jordan Davis is looking great. It's very hard to come in. Even Micah, his first year, he won Defensive Rookie of the Year, but that doesn't happen very often, and he's a lot more athletic than a Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter's he's a mammoth of a man, and
Loyal Cowboys was saying that, I've seen, I think it was up, the last I saw it is up to like 35,000 people want them to bring the Redskin name back, but I think that ship has sailed. I think that...
I don't think we live in a time where they'll ever do that, but I think it's.
I honestly think that the best thing, Commanders was just a shitty name. I think that with the new ownership and everything else, that they should have a different name than, I'm sorry, Commanders. That just reminds you of Dan Snyder. They need to kind of turn the page and start with something new. That's my opinion, but I got nothing to do with it because I'm a Cowboy fan, so that's on them.
I could care less. Honestly. Linda Conyers. Jordan Davis was fine last year. He just did not perform up to the 13th pick. No, he couldn't stay on the field, Linda.
No, yeah.
It was okay.
And understand,
that's
too.
all I'm saying. He had some stamina issues. He had some lingering injuries. And it's the NFL, Linda. It's going to happen with everybody. I don't care who you are. If you're the best player, it's going to get you, especially when you're playing the interior. Ask Mark. Mm-hmm. He'll tell you. The interior line, it's a train wreck every play.
It literally is. And I got cussed out. I learned the hard way from the coach because, I ended up getting a sack that's on 3rd down, stopping a play in a game. And the coach cusses me out because he's like, you're a showboat because I shot the gap. And got upfield, got the sack. Yeah, you were saying, and the coach is like, what the? I'm like, I got the sack, coach. We stopped them. He's like, you left your linebackers out to dry. Your job is to hold the real estate. Your job is not to get any glory, and that is true about Jordan Davis. I do give Jordan Davis a hard time because, you look at the numbers, and people will do the same thing with Mozzie Smith. Mozzie Smith may only get 20, 25 tackles, but he can be a difference maker for the team because if he can hold that line, the middle of it, if he can require double teams, if he can keep and put a little bit of pressure up the middle so the quarterback can't step up, the ends are going to go ahead and get those sacks. The linebackers are going to make the tackles because they're not getting hit by the guards. And you are literally hit.
Has a bright future.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Every stinking way imaginable.
And you're not even always getting hit from, like, the guy in front of you.
The wham block.
Blindsided from the guy.
The freaking wham block is the worst one in the world because, your face is literally over the football and you're a football length away from the center. Your heads are hitting every play.
Yeah, my brother,
and you're on all four.
College, yeah.
And what they'll do is they'll put the tight end in motion, and he is literally a yard away when the ball is snapped, and he is going right for your head.
Cloud's Coffee. Don't worry, my man.
Cloud's Coffee is, man, he's worried about Dak Prescott and says Dak Prescott's not looking good.
He looks up to you like a father, he figured, but he's worried about the Eagles are too good. Eagles are a great team. I'm not gonna, this is what and this goes out to Linda, and I this is a Dallas channel, but I will address.
Shout out to Linda. Linda's good people. She's not a typical Eagle fan.
Jordan Davis has a bright future. I'm speaking to that person who's automatically saying this, this player, whether it's him or anybody, is just going to be awesome, and because of that player as a rookie, that's why we're going to win. That doesn't happen. He's going to be a great player. Hopefully, he could stay healthy and keep his body and stay on the field. If you have it, that's part of being in the NFL. You can't, if you're in the tub, you can't be on. That's not good. So, hopefully, he has a better year.
Now, Terry, that is true. Now, there's exceptions to every rule. Sauce Gardner came out and was incredible. Odell Beckham Jr. as a rookie was incredible. But that's not very often that you could say, actually, Dak Prescott came out and was pretty damn good as a rookie. But that's not
Dak
typical.
Won 10 straight games as a rookie. So what are we saying? He's going to be great for the rest of his career.
Walker Wade. What's up, Wade, man? How are you doing? It's a disgrace franchise isn't called the Redskins. Well, I think they should call themselves the Redskin Potatoes. That way,
I understand why it's bad. I don't get me wrong. I'm very sensitive. Now, I have no idea why the baseball team, the Indians, had to change their name or change their name to
the Cleveland Indians. Oh, come on! Do you remember their mascot?
What is wrong with an Indian now?
But do you remember their mascot though?
No, well, I get it.
Okay,
I'm just saying. It's just like we're getting overly sensitive, but I get it. I actually get it, but they'll always be the Redskins to me. But the Commanders won't ever stick in my mind. I don't care; they just won't. So I don't know what's going to happen there. But the Red Tails, I actually like the Red Tails, but they wanted something different, I guess.
Yeah, well, Red Tails would have been better. Anything would have been better than Commanders. That was, oh my God, that was the worst.
Yeah, Angelica, true. But we got to stick to the Cowboys because I get stuck in the wormhole, and just talking about Eagles. And there's just not everybody, but you just can't talk to some of them. They're right, you're wrong. This is a Cowboy channel, so we'll talk Cowboys tonight. So I made sure I stuck on my video today. I just basically talked about the tough cuts that we're going to have coming up. But, we have to get through the whole preseason. Mark, play the Commander song.
I was going to say for Lola.
For my home team, my loyalty, I'm at Uptown Royalty.
Behind enemy lines, I was checking them out.
We fight for all DC, who are we?
Okay, there we go. Enough of that. Okay, that may be short-lived. They may be having a new name next year.
I didn't even hear. I don't hear it. So.
Oh, you don't? Oh, damn! I thought you. Okay, so.
No, that's why when you do that, I can't hear. I just got to be cued that you're doing it.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'll shut up.
Let's get back to our Cowboys here because we've got Eagle fans, of course, that are always in here trying to start shit and everything.
In a super chat, but back to Cowboys.
Yeah, I need Davis playing preseason. There it is. Like everybody's having everybody play the Philly meltdown. Okay, well, we'll get to Philly meltdown here in a minute.
I think we're gonna have some more Philly meltdowns here this year because it's almost, and I know we're talking about it, but I gotta say this: the expectations are gonna be tough to meet. It's Super Bowl or bust.
It's gonna be impossible to meet.
Welcome to Cowboys world because everybody bets on the other 31 teams and says, as long as you don't win another one, you suck. Well, that's where you're at now, Philly. It's not the easiest place to be.
Well, I tell you what.
Game last year, Mark, right? And we choked somehow.
Somehow with the team that we ended up getting rid of everybody.
Anyway, I can't wait for the season to start. Let's just get off hot, baby. Let's get off to a good start.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Now, I had a thought here, and I can't remember.
I'm sorry.
Actually, my thought. I was sitting here thinking in my mind because with Ronald Jones being suspended, I don't know if everybody's heard that. Ronald Jones is suspended for 2 games for PEDs. And immediately I saw Mike Fisher saying, sign Zeke Elliott. But we had talked about Ronald Jones maybe on the bubble anyway, and maybe not make the roster.
Yeah, I didn't have him making the roster. Barring injury, I don't think he's on the team, Mark.
And I tell you, here's one of the reasons why I think that he definitely is not in the plans.
Robbie West.
I got too many skeletons in my closet. I'm not trying to have people go through my shit like that with a fine-tooth comb.
He's got a little Sleepy Joe in him, so I don't know.
Oh, Lordy. No, but here's the thing. I'm sitting here thinking about the Cowboys, what they want to do. They're about speed right now. If you notice how quick, how fast everything is and everybody is, I don't think Zeke fits this anymore with what they want to do.
You're right. Especially, I saw Malik Davis. I really like that kid, man. I saw him get out of the backfield and catch a ball 20 yards down the field. Just think about what we're doing. Pollard was hitting it hard. Pause. But Pollard was he was hitting the hole pretty hard today. And
pause.
Yeah, first, sorry, Angelica, I had to. But so Pollard looked great. Deuce Vaughn looks incredible in his role. Malik, they all do the same thing, man. They all can catch the ball, get the ball in space. I don't think Ronald Jones is making the team, Mark. I know you had said. Yeah,
I think it definitely hurts.
A roster, man. It
definitely hurts him being suspended for 2 games.
Well, that may help him because they don't have to make a decision on him, correct? Or do they? How does that work?
I don't think they do.
That's the thing. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to look that up, but if he's suspended the first 2, I think he has to be on the roster. So I think that's all the more reason not to. But I'm not positive. But Hunter Lepke, the fullback. He's going to be on this team, and that he's going to be one of your running backs. So I broke it all down. Barring injury, I think that Rico is hopefully he can make it to the practice squad, but I don't see Ronald Jones making it unless there's an injury, and I don't like to talk about injuries. So, and I keep saying that, but that's what you have to say. We haven't played any games. These running backs are going to get a lot of work. In the preseason.
In my mind, I think what we've got here is Mike McCarthy trying to replicate the 2010 Green Bay Packers. And on that team, here's what's interesting is that
Philadelphia think we're going to have a rough season.
Because he's an idiot.
Man? You could say you're going to have a good year. Are you not looking at our defense? We could have the worst offensive league and win 9 games.
Well, here's the okay. So, looking at that team, okay, they were 10-6, right? They were 10th in scoring, 8th in yardage. They were 2nd in scoring defense, 5th in yards, and 6th at taking away the football. Aaron Rodgers threw 31 TDs and 13 interceptions. Not exactly. I mean, 13 interceptions is not exactly a lot. I mean, it's not exactly a few. The thing that's interesting is you look at what Aaron Rodgers has done later on, where he's thrown 45 freaking touchdowns, and 4 interceptions, and they're not winning Super Bowls. But what was crazy about this, he threw for 3,900 yards, is when you look at the way the team was constructed. Great defense, took away the football. They did running back by committee. They had Brandon Jackson, who had 700 yards. John Kuhn, their fullback, had 281. Aaron Rodgers had 350. James Starks had 101. So they didn't have any big lead backs that are, changing the game. But when you started looking at the receivers that they had, oh, my God.
Right.
They had let me slide down here and look at
what year are you talking? I could say
their Super Bowl year, 2010. They had Greg Jennings.
Yeah,
they had Donald Driver.
Yeah.
They had Jordy Nelson. Okay.
Who was their tight end?
Oh wait, they did tight end by committee too. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Staggone thing is going too fast. But and you look at this. Okay, so Greg Jennings, Donald Driver, James Jones, Jordy Nelson. They had Jermichael Finley, Andrew Quarles, and Donald Lee for tight ends.
Jermichael Finley was real good when he was young. Yeah, no, that's big time there. Not to mention, like a real good offensive line. So
yeah, they got over 1,200 yards receiving from their tight ends. So you look at this and you say, well, we're kind of 3 tight ends, maybe 4 tight ends deep if Schoonmaker can get healthy.
We're taking 4. I see a lot of people looking at A to Z Sports. They had us taking 3. I say we're taking 4 because you got to remember we got the rookie. He's going to make the team.
Yeah.
Right. His injury is not going to stop him from not being ready for the season.
Right.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to keep 4. This is why when you watch my video, I break it down to where there's certain positions I thought would go heavy that we're not going to be able to. And the way I did it, barring injury, worked out fairly well. So, listen, our defense is going to be really, really, really good, and our offense is already good, and we've added to it. How can we be any worse? We led the league in scoring. We were a top 10 in yardage. We're going to be better this year, people. But you know what? It's going to be a different type of offense. I don't care that we don't score the most points.
Jeff Lee, I'm with you. More 12 personnel.
And I think that's what you're going to see with Luke Schoonmaker and Jake Ferguson, and even I really like McKeon too. Our fourth.
Hey, Eastside, how many touchdown passes did your guy throw today? How about that one? And how's Noah Brown doing? I can't find anything in the clippings about Noah Brown. I'm sure,
up, Cornelius?
The way y'all talk that he's great. So he must be a starter on your team, right? East Side, you got to love him. You got to love him. So who do you think is going to be the surprise cut that everybody's going to be like, I can't believe we cut him, besides Zeke?
Surprise cut? I broke it down in camp battles. But I think that, we've talked about it. I think it's either going to be Gallimore or Bohannon. One of them makes it, and one of them doesn't.
I think they really, really like Bohannon.
But one of them's not making it. So whether we give you a trade,
I think they really like Bohannon.
Yeah. So then I hear Gallimore's looking good. Bohannon is a little more limited than Gallimore. At least Gallimore, he gives you like the threat of penetration. But you know what I mean? Bohannon is just a big run stopper. Now that we got Mozzie, I think he's less important to what we need. But yeah, either way. And I think cornerback is another area where Nashawn Wright or Bossman Fat, they're not both on the team. They're not. Unless we're not keeping C.J. Goodwin, which I'm fine with. I thought he was not going to make it last year. And
at first, my first thought was, but he was a second-round pick, and they don't like to give up on second-round picks, but we did with Tristan Hill.
They got too many good people, man. They got Eric Scott Jr.
And I literally have heard nothing about Bossman Fat so far.
No, he's not doing nothing as a corner, which I'm thinking barring injury, I think this might be it for him. You got to go with these young guys that I just like what I see. I just do.
Well, currently we have
Robinson. As long as the Cowboys have Dak, they are going nowhere. Can't even beat the Niners. Yeah, I don't understand what the Niners. You act like they're a bad team. They made it to the championship game back-to-back years. I'm not really sure what that means.
Terry says Slay had 2 bad games. Okay. Probably against the Cowboys. But be that as it may.
Big play? Nah, not big play. Big play good. He's 32, by the way, people.
Yeah, he's not a spring chicken.
Same age as Gilmore, so you don't have a lot left in the tank.
Well, now here's the question here.
Bradbury, our defensive backs are way deeper than the Eagles.
Well, I tell you the thing I love right now, because I remember being at training camp this time last year and watching the wide receivers that we had. We were looking at guys like Vasher. He had the one great catch in the end zone. The reason why they built the whole platform and the walkway and all that to make sure, and they put the padding behind there because that became an issue last year. So between Semi and Jalen Tolbert, I'm hearing this looks really good.
Yeah.
Semi, I haven't heard quite as much about.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Mark, I think if we were smart, I think Tolbert's going to be on the team, and he's going to be our number 4 guy. I only think we're keeping 5. And that's not counting Turpin, because I had him.
Well, Turpin is the special team, yeah.
Right. So just remember, when we have 5 wide receivers, that's not including Turpin, and he looked great at practice today. I'm not getting carried away, but you made a point of he played a whole season of USFL, came right to the Cowboys.
And it seemed like he tailed off at the end of the year because he probably was worn down. Yeah.
So he really looks good. So we're only going to keep 5 the wide receivers, which means somebody got to go. If you have Fehoko on the team, then my guy who I've been talking about, has to get to the practice squad. Jalen Brooks out of South Carolina. This kid, Mark, just watch some of the highlights from just the first padded practice, which is the real practice.
Yeah.
7-on-7 where you're playing flag football, you're chucking the ball all over the place. Oh my God, Dak threw an interception. Okay, whatever. Now is when you're more concerned about, what the pads are on. Dude, this Jalen Brooks looks good. 6'2",
looks real good.
Runs a 4.4. Number 83. I've been saying it. That's my pet cat. I don't want to have what happened last year, with Ridgeway, where we leave a guy. We've had Fehoko. He can't do it. I'm sorry. We'll see if he can do it.
Yeah.
If there's a doubt, somebody's gonna pick Fehoko up if you cut him. So you won't get him to the practice squad.
Well, I tell you what, I love our gadget guy, and that is Deuce Vaughn. I remember we had a couple of guys, running backs, we called them stumps, because they were short guys. And when you get them behind an offensive line, you can't find them. You literally are looking around, and they're so quick typically, before you know it, they've already blown past you on the first level. And I'm loving what I'm seeing from Deuce Vaughn. That's what the role that I kind of hoped that Turpin was going to be able to play. But again, like we said, he may have just been worn out by the time the season ended, because he started off hot. And then kind of cooled off.
I know me and Phil, every week I was saying, can we, and listen, like an NFL roster spot is so cherished that I don't know why we would waste it, by just doing the bare, if a guy has it and you're not paying him a lot of money, let him run a damn 9 route. That'll stretch the field. He's going to beat his guy one-on-one most of the time. Or you're going to bring his safety help, which is going to open things up for lesser talented guys who can't get open on their own, like a Noah Brown, sorry, East Side. But it seemed like our guys were covered other than CD, And now CD's getting, a lot of the fans would say, for other teams, I should say, well, CD, he was the only guy. That's why he got all the stats. He was getting all the double teams too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he was getting. He was getting the lion's share of balls thrown to him, but he was getting. If you think that teams weren't covering him the same way they were Noah Brown, you're sadly mistaken. Okay.
And it may not have been a traditional double team. Maybe they slanted the safety his way to keep him, but.
Here's the thing. It's kind of like when we had Jason Witten the last few years. If you're a defensive coordinator, you're hoping that Jason Witten was the one that was going to catch the ball. You didn't want, Amari Cooper catching the ball, a guy who could take it to the house. If Jason Witten got the ball, he's not getting any yards after catch, okay?
That's what Cole Beasley's problem was.
Yeah.
Cole Beasley, he was a first down machine, but there was no run after catch, at least not with the Cowboys. It was catch it, fall to the ground.
Right.
Catch it, fall to the ground. That's why. And you know what I'm really excited about is Mike McCarthy and how he is loving what he's doing. He's involved calling the plays. The tempo in practice today was incredible. I watched literally every snap that I could watch that they were covering on Dallas Cowboys.
Pause.
And it was
Gina
impressive.
Says. Yeah.
Very impressive, man.
Well, Gina says pause. I love the trolls in here. Terry says, Mark, are you excited for week 2 when Aaron Rodgers comes to Texas for the usual duty of beating the Cowboys? You know what I thought about
this year, baby?
You know what I thought about with Dalvin Cook going to New York for the visit and all that? You can't tell me that wasn't set up for Hard Knocks.
Yeah, you're right.
Think about that. He comes to, he's there with the owner, with Woody, and all that, right? He's on the sidelines watching practice and everything else, and he ends up leaving without a contract. So that's going to be covered in Hard Knocks. That will be the talking point and everything else, To me, that was, if the NFL is scripted, that shit was scripted right there.
Yep, and listen, as much as I love Dalvin Cook, I hope Dalvin doesn't sign anywhere. Just hold off, buddy, because I want to get through this training camp healthy. And then you can sign with somebody, because if something, God forbid, happens, I would like the opportunity to get Dalvin Cook.
Mm-hmm.
But as it sits now, there's no room for Dalvin. As and I want to get into this, Mark. It's a little negative, but...
Go ahead. No, listen, it's better to be real as opposed to being the hype machine for Jerry Jones. If you got concerns, we need to put them out there.
This is your boy's dad I'm going after. This is Catboy's dad, Jerry Jones.
Oh, here we go.
I've never heard of Jerry. He actually came out, everybody knows it. He came out and pretty much said, we're not close with Zach Martin.
Yeah.
And we need that money. And he didn't just leave it at that. He went ahead and said, we need it for Micah Parsons. I've never heard management and owner Jerry Jones come out and say, if you're Micah Parsons, how do you feel? If you're hearing your owner say, we can't leave my name out your mouth, old man. And I'm sorry. I love Jerry Jones. He's annoys me.
Here's the thing about Jerry Jones. I think Jerry's getting to be Al Davis-esque. I'll leave it that way.
It's embarrassing.
The whole thing about where he's talking about Jimmy Johnson, and oh my God, to say, we've got several coaches that we're looking at to put in to the Ring of Honor.
Obviously, there's more to that story that he can't be a man and admit. Sorry, because I thought everything was great and hunky-dory, but obviously it's not.
If you ask me, it's karma is the reason why we're not winning the freaking Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying. What would be a better feel-good? I still stand on it that if we have that Ring of Honor ceremony 2 years ago, we win that game against the Niners.
Oh, my God. I said that would have been the perfect time to do that shit. Especially after, this is what really kind of pissed me off. I was literally 20 feet away from Jerry when he said it. To be at the freaking Pro Football Hall of Fame where Jimmy Johnson, it is his time to be recognized as being one of those, 380? Is it 380 or is it 280? I can't remember how many it is.
I'm sorry.
Hall of Famers. For Jerry Jones to turn around and act like the Ring of Honor is bigger than the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We're going to put you in the Ring of Honor. Okay? To literally try and steal Jimmy Johnson's thunder. And then to constantly use this as, I'm tired of him whining about this thing. And he ain't saying shit about it. He's not saying shit about it. He's moved on. But Jerry to be so freaking petty, because Jimmy's not winning those Super Bowls without Jerry. Jerry's not winning without Jimmy. Can we just recognize that? Is it really that freaking hard? And to me, it's karma, Jerry. It's freaking karma why you're not winning shit.
This all goes back to what I've been saying with the argument. It's a team game. You couldn't have won it without Jerry hiring Jimmy, letting Jimmy make his magic in the draft with the trades. It's a team from the organization on down to the trainers. It's everything. That's how you win. It's organization. And that's where I think that we've gone off the rails. Now we got Jerry. The good thing is Jerry doesn't have much to do anymore.
Yeah.
He's just a talking head, and he don't talk the best anymore. I think he looks pretty good now, but I'm a little annoyed. Why does he got to talk about
Night 3? He's a little breakfast burrito. What? I don't know. Who's a little breakfast burrito?
I love breakfast burritos. So.
Okay, I'm lost in that conversation. Okay, I'm totally lost in that conversation.
Darren Sproles he's talking about Deuce Vaughn.
Deuce Vaughn, I'm loving him. I've got to get the clip from Major League. Bring in Vaughn. Vaughn? Vaughn for Wild Thing.
They were saying he's actually bigger than Sproles is, like in size coming out, but he's not as tall. He's slightly shorter than Sproles. But who cares, man? That's what you want. He's not going to be, like you said, a guy that we're going to give the ball 25 times. If he gets the ball 10, 12 times and catches the ball 3-4 times, that's fine. That's all you want.
Okay.
I like a good breakfast burrito. If you go with the low carb tortilla, that would be good. But we're not really worried about carbs at this point, are we?
No. So far, are you happy with everything but Catboy?
Yeah, it's the football season. I'm happy. I told you before, I know we have to go through this thing called camp, and it's what we have to do. I just hold my breath. Sam Williams, it's supposedly minor, which is fine. Do you believe this, Mark? It's one of 9 padded practices.
I know.
That's unbelievably crazy.
At JMU, spring football, we had 21 spring practices. We called it spring brawl, okay? And if you made it through without getting an injury and practice all of them, you got a shirt that said, I hit for 20, okay? I hit for 20, okay?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And they got 9 padded practices and training camp. These guys, I bet if I said 2-a-days, they'd look and say, what is a 2-a-day? What is a 2-a-day?
But I don't think you could do it. I think it's actually the way it needs to be, just because of how big, fast, strong these players are and how many games they play. I just don't know that I think they're doing the right thing. It definitely hurts the game though, especially early on in the season. But
I'm going to be old school on that because see, I believe that
the money's too big, Mark.
The money is too big. But here's the thing: you've got that 5-6 weeks of time where they're not there. You don't have the same kind of work that you used to, all the mini camps and stuff. You're going from 0 to 1,000 miles an hour, boom, right now. And that's where you get all these soft tissue injuries. And I still believe, how do you get used to being tackled if you never get tackled except in a game?
Well, I think here's the difference, Mark, and I could be wrong. You played at a high level. So, I think, today's athlete is training all year round. I just know going by my situation, my brother played in college, and he, it seemed like they used training camp to get in shape back in the day.
Oh, they definitely did.
You have to show up in shape. So a lot of that, remember the old bear crawls? You don't see them do bear crawls anymore. I bet doing bear crawls the length of a football field at the end of a practice because you didn't do something right was about as miserable as it gets. But yeah, I think that's what it is. I think that these players are in tip-top shape all year round for the most part. And if you're not, that's when you're in trouble. So I think that's what it is. I think they don't need to get in shape. They're already getting in shape.
Yeah.
These playbooks, man, it's you got to be a you have to be a whiz in order to pick this stuff up, as fast as these players do.
And herein lies part of the problem from last year was the shit that Kellen Moore. Sometimes you can outsmart yourself. You always looked at Jason Garrett, who always had that shit-eating smug look that, I'm a Princeton graduate and all that, and I'm smarter than everybody else, and he's outsmarting himself. I just want to read the quote from Jerry Jones, and I'm trying to figure out who the hell is possible. It's not about that, Jerry Jones said when he. Excuse me. Let me start over. It's not about that, Jerry Jones said. It's about who am I going to put in the Ring of Honor. I actually got a couple of coaches in addition to Jimmy that ought to be in the ring. So are we talking about assistant coaches? Because I'm sorry. There is no other coach other than Jimmy Johnson that deserves to be up there with Tom Landry.
Nobody. Obviously something happened, or Jerry. I feel sorry for Jerry. And the longer this goes on, the more embarrassing he looks. Mm-hmm. Now, he's going to be stubborn and say, I own the team. Listen, man, it's America's team. You may get the money, and your family may get the money. You're from the
Karma.
Cowboys. This is our friggin' team, okay? Players come and go. That's why, I never used to be a big autograph guy. Mm-hmm. I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm not a fan of Deion Sanders back in the day, so to speak. I'm not saying I didn't like the player, but I'm a fan of the Cowboys. Sometimes you got guys that I didn't really care for T.O.
Mm-hmm. I was not a T.O. fan either.
He was a loose cannon. He had all the talent in the world, but he just couldn't coexist with certain, I didn't care for him, but I knew that his time was going to come and go, and I'm still going to be a fan. We're going to be a fan, Jerry, after you're gone, buddy. So I don't understand why you need to be this stubborn and stick, come on, man. It's time.
Night 3, who's been trying to kill us all night. Mike McCarthy is going to change nothing. Good luck. You know what? I tell you what, after seeing Brian Schottenheimer's interview a couple of days ago, I actually feel really good about I look at Brian Schottenheimer, who was the offensive coordinator of Russell Wilson's statistically best season in Seattle, and I look at Mike McCarthy versus Kellen Moore, and I feel a hell of a lot better, especially with the weapons that we had that we did not have last year.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel better that we actually have the makings of a complete defense if we can stay healthy, knock on wood.
But the thing is, we have so much depth. Mm-hmm. We have more depth than any team that you know what I mean? It could be debated when everybody healthy that maybe this team's starters may be slightly better than ours. We may not be. They're saying they want to be number one in every category. Mm-hmm. It's going to be fun because if they stay healthy, I think they could end up as being the number one, rushing and passing defense. I really do. But I'm not going to be greedy and say that's what I think. But hey, I'm happy with the top 5. But how far have we come, Mark, when we're saying our defense is going to be top 5? I'm talking all around, not just. Right. I think we're going to be really good against the pass. With Mozzie, I think it can only help against the run. So, I'm trying not to. We're getting close. We're only. I had said that on my video. We're only. We're 38 days from the first game. 38 days away from September 7th.
Wow.
Detroit to Kansas City. We're 41 days away from MetLife Stadium. Oh, thanks, Mark.
All right. So here's what I need. Here's what I need, everybody. Now, come Wednesday night, you'll be at my house. Thursday morning, before the sun rises, we'll be on our road to Canton, Ohio, to see the very first preseason game of the 2023 season. We know Aaron frickin' Rodgers is not going to play, but we know that HBO cameras will be there at least, right?
Yeah,
and we will be seeing DeMarcus Ware and Chuck Howley inducted in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, along with all of those Eagle fans. And here's what I need y'all to do. Listen, we've got 204 people in here. I just need 10%. 10% of y'all to go through and sub up to Game Time Brian. I pinned the link right there. Click on that. Subscribe to his channel. Check out the mailman, because not only is he putting out great content, and listen, he does his homework, okay? He knows these guys. He also delivers the mail without going postal. So let's get him over 200 200 subs tonight. Especially you Eagle fans. You know you want to talk some shit. Sub up to his channel.
Twiz is one of him and Philly. I don't see Philly D tonight. I haven't seen him for a while, but Twiz is one of my main supporters, and he's an Eagle fan. I can talk to Eagles. I live in Eagleville. You know that.
Yes.
You're close enough, but it's just I get tired of the Dak bashing. I can deal with everything else, but he doesn't do that. So
it is funny. Here's the thing that's funny. The trolls think that they actually bother Dak. His life is pretty good. Okay.
Dak is, I don't know, man. I still feel good. I would imagine. Have you talked to Philip lately?
I talked to him a couple weeks ago. I need to give him a buzz and see. All right, so there's 3 of you already there. It's 184. Come on, 16 more. 16.
Well, I had 180 coming into the thing, so unless somebody subscribes.
I'm looking at it. It says 184 at the moment.
Okay, that's what I mean. So I had 180 when a couple hours ago.
Okay, all right. So come on. I need 16 more, you mother humpers. Come on, 16. Let's do this shit. Okay.
Mostly real. I'm not perfect, Twiz. I'm a fan first. Just remember that.
We're all YouTube.
fans. I'm never gonna say that I'm an expert, but I try and know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I may mess a name up because I always rewatch my videos. It's not the easiest. Mark's done how many thousands of videos?
You know what? I give no F's about making mistakes.
And I was doing something about a defense, doing a defense, and I was watching it. Instead of saying Gilmore, I said Gallimore. Now, I mean, it's not that hard, but you guys know what I mean. So it's like, it is what it is. I'm doing the best I can, but. It's like anything else. When you're comfortable doing something, that's when you get better. So,
I've learned I give no F's. Okay, I can look like.
I just don't want to show butt crack. Other than that,
I've done that before too.
You haven't done it lately.
It was funny today because my wife had said, you've gotten better at not showing your crack.
Thanks, Brandon, man.
I was like, okay, I'm wearing longer shirts now, honey. I said, it might be that I've lost some weight and that the clothes are fitting a little bit more. Lucky Gardenia, how are you doing?
You were already subscribed. Thanks, sweetie.
Okay, let's see. Where are we? Let me check here.
Well, they must have changed something.
188. There we go. Come on, 8 more people, please.
Well, I figure what we'll do is I'm going to get up to your house, probably leave around 2-ish.
Okay.
Probably about 6 o'clock I'll get there. I always got a stop at that one rest stop to go to the bathroom, unfortunately. I can't go 3.5 hours, but so we'll...
the curse of being old.
Get up early, man. We'll get up early and hit the road, man.
Oh, I can be up at 5 o'clock ready to go.
Well,
get there and enjoy the day.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the plan, and I like what we were talking about. If it works out that way, you get out of there on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Again, it used to always be kind of late and stuff in the evening, and maybe it's pre-recorded.
Sure, I remember it was early. So, but I know what you're saying. Oh boy,
here we go.
Just subscribed with. Okay.
Yeah, I've got, of course, Philly 500 just sent me his daily text with his latest video of telling us how great the Eagles are, of course.
Okay, well, he loves the uniform, so if nothing else, they'll look good. With the Kelly green, but it's coming down to us and the Eagles. There's no ands, ifs, or buts. It's coming down to us and the Eagles, so that's exciting, right? I hope that they stay healthy. Because I was on the same stream as Twiz, and I heard one of the girl YouTubers. She was like, they're calling run plays for Jalen. That's the worst thing you could do. Now, I'm not saying that when everything breaks down, of course you run like Dak did today in practice. You run, but I'm telling you that's a mistake. That's not the way this league is going. You cannot run like you did last year. You didn't stay healthy last year.
Oh my God, poor Philly 500. Epic safety trade coming. Kelly Green Day, Cowboys destroyed and suspended. Okay. Jalen Hurts is on fire. Okay.
Because he put something out last week, and I responded on Twitter with a GIF or a GIF, whatever the hell you call it. No, he was laughing. He knows what he's doing. He's poking out. He knows that you talk about the Cowboys, we respond. Just like when Angelica hates it, but when I talk about the Eagles, my most watched videos are when I talk about the Eagles. That's just because that's our natural rival.
Yeah.
I try and throw them, be honest, but I've noticed that it's never really reciprocated for the most part. Like I'll say, I love Jalen Hurts. The fact that he went back and got his college degree, I think that's fantastic. I think he's got a lot of talent. And then I'll go.
It's not in their DNA to say something nice.
Yeah, and then you say, well, they put a great team around him, and that's not a slight. Oh my God, that's not cool. He's a great talent. He's going to be. I'm like, I'm not saying he's not good.
Tay Cowboys, long time no see. Appreciate you being back, girl.
Where you been, Tay?
Thank you on the house. We definitely have come a long way. So we may actually be able to get our occupancy next week when I come back.
Talk about the Eagles, Angelica. Come on now.
Well, let's do it.
We'll be trying to e-girls mod.
All right, we're at 180. Come on, 11 people. 11 people. Come on. Seriously?
Hell no.
Y'all can't do it. You can't do a brother a solid like that. Come on.
Dirk, money's swaggy fly. Eagles will not make the playoffs this year. Tighten up.
Okay, we're at 190. Okay. All right, well, we're getting closer.
It's nice to have the subscribers and all, but if they're not going to watch it, then it's empty. But hopefully you watch. But yeah, I figure we'll do like a live stream on the way down.
Oh no, Angelica, don't change your name, Angelica, because I love saying Angelica Baron. You change it, you're gonna mess me up. See, like Gina Dallas Diva messed me up. Okay, I still can't get it right on a consistent basis. See, unlike Brian, who actually cares about trying to get these things right, I just can't do it. I just suck. But anyway, we have been here in overtime, and I'm tired.
Are we?
I am actually really tired here from the Red Brick House, and it's about 10:15 or so.
I gotta stop bringing up her name. I guess she's upset.
What, Angelica?
Yeah.
Well, she's laughing at Twiz, so we're all real good. All right, so everybody definitely sub up to my man, Game Time Brian. We'll be leaving out on Thursday morning the Pro Football Hall of Fame, so we'll be bringing you coverage from there as we get ready and get closer to the NFL season. Eddie B. Yeah, he says, we all like the way you say Baron. Okay, so you got to roll your tongue with that Baron. Final thoughts there, Game Time?
Yeah, I'll just say that just stay healthy with these practices. I'm looking forward to hitting the road. I'm looking forward to seeing some football Thursday night. I know it's preseason, but it's still football, Mark. It's still football. So just looking forward to the season, man. I love all the Eagle hype. It really makes it. I've said this in the beginning. I'd rather both teams be good. That's just how I want it. It's not fun whipping up or getting our butts kicked twice a year. I want to see both teams be good, and then let the chips fall where they may.
I tell you what, there is so much coverage of everything that the Dallas Cowboys do for practice. It's insane. You get more coverage from us on training camp and stuff than you do from, I think from everybody else's team combined. And that's why it seems like it's so micro overanalyzed about every single thing that happens in practice. You know, oh my God, Dak Prescott threw an interception. Well, you know, there's some practices with some of these other quarterbacks that are throwing interceptions too. You just don't see it. But shout out to everybody who has already subbed up to my man Game Time. We're up to 193. We're only 7 away. Come on now. 7 of y'all get in here and sub up.
Philadelphia, Gardner Minshew had more snaps in the fourth quarter of the NFC Championship.
Philadelphia.
Gotta get a shot in, for the road, man.
All right.
Get a shot in.
For Philadelphia.
Fuck them birds. Fly, Eagles, fly.
There you go.
Now we shoot
F
those
them
birds out of
birds.
the sky. Stupid dumbasses managed to give up a 3rd and 30 to my sexy arm. Pathetic defense and team. No wonder I own those piece of shit frauds every damn year. Don't get me started on the fans. You boo me while I earned a respected award. Losing the Super Bowl was just karma for you fuckheads. I can't wait to drop 100 on your heads next season while being the daddy of the NFC East again.
All right, so with that being said, we're going to do one final check-in on Game Time and see what the number's at, and then we're going to roll on out of here. 196, man. We're only 4 away? We're only 4 away from 200? Come on now.
Mute message. Pause. Yeah, no, man, I appreciate it. I appreciate, hitting it. I think we're really moving because it wasn't too long ago that I was in the double digits. I was at like 50. So
well, that first 1,000 is the hardest.
Yeah, I know. You see where they changed it to where I think that's why they monetize
3 away.
The other channel. I think it's 50 or 500 now, not 1,000.
Well, of course, Google they want to make all that money.
Exactly.
Okay, it's like, why are we making? It's like, look, let's go ahead and put ads on everything. All right, we're only 3 away.
It real. If anybody knows me, I keep it real. I'm not a homer. I get the Eagle fans normally like me because I usually give them a lot of credit. So I'm just not gonna cheerlead, right, Mark?
There you go. Let's not cheerlead. All right, so we're going to go ahead and end on this note right here. I appreciate everybody, and God willing, I'll see you tomorrow.
I fire Howard. Fucking fire.
Motherfucker! Stupid motherfucker! What an idiot!
What an idiot!
Kills me every time.
What an idiot! Dallas has Amari Cooper and Gallup, but we don't need a receiver. Are you kidding me? I don't want Justin Jefferson. He's ass. He's stupid. I fire his ass. I fire his ass. I mean, how he's got to be stupid.